Vistaprint.com.
First, I'd like to apologize to you, okay? We haven't spoken a couple days, and I see you're still pissed off. You know, I just feel like you get so tunnel vision to where it's like you only hear what you want to hear.
All right, the drama in real life has gotten much more real for Phaedra and Apollo, stars of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because Apollo's been indicted. Take a look at the charges, folks. I've got them for you. Bank fraud, identity theft, and conspiracy. You add up all the counts. He's looking at up to, I believe, at least 42 years is the maximum that he's facing. He's scheduled to be in court trying to get that put off. And when someone is charged and facing that much time and they want their trial date put off, it's because they want a deal. And he's been charged federally. And the way the feds work generally, folks, is they always look for bigger fish. For instance, in a drug case, someone gets caught possessing drugs. All right, you tell us who gave you the drugs and we'll give you a deal. Then they bring in the person who gave them the drugs. You say, okay, who supplied you the drugs? We'll give you a deal. And then when they get the supplier, they say, okay, who's the drug kingpin? And we'll give you a deal. So my question for my dream team right now is, if Apollo is trying to work out a deal, who's the bigger fish to fry here? Could they? They're not going after Phaedra, are they?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, gosh, I couldn't imagine that he would be trying to work out a deal to cooperate against his own wife.
That's not going to happen.
It's usually the opposite.
And she's probably not even involved. I mean,
exactly.
She has not been indicted. She hasn't been charged or anything else.
Right.
But what can he possibly do? Go ahead, Darren.
Well, no, I'm just thinking about the cold case detectives that we were talking about earlier, and their crime-solving abilities. I'm wondering if maybe instead of running those DNA searches, they could just check the casting lists for the Real Housewives series.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they have had some trouble in court. This is not the first time. But, and by the way, to your point, Vinny, you know, the feds don't screw around on cases. They tend not to bring cases unless they really have somebody firmly in the crosshairs. So I think a deal is inevitable based on the noises that we see all the lawyers making in this case.
Why give him a deal?
Well, because he already has a criminal record. Let's talk about that. I mean, this allegedly happened shortly after he was released from jail the last time. But there also may be a national or an international network of this bank fraud, and they may be trying to get to see where the other pieces are, and that may be part of the deal. I mean, one of the things we were talking about during the break is that if there is some implication of his wife, which I hope there is not, then that may also be a part of it. Don't go after her. I'll enter this plea.
Now, the feds don't give you...
And let's not forget, Vinny.
What's that?
No, I'm sorry to interrupt, but in the federal system also, let's keep in mind, one of the things that allows for a downward departure or a reduced sentence is the early admission of culpability, the early admission of guilt. So he may be doing this just because the evidence is overwhelming, and he's just trying to get out of trouble the best way he can.
I agree with that, Darren.
We will stay on that case, obviously. Now, no luck today in the search for Malaysian Airlines flight